Good morning. Welcome. Weird and woo woo. Where I'm weird and we all get a little woo woo, okay? All right. We're about to do the week ahead tarot reading. If you want to stick around, awesome. If you don't, I understand. Have a fabulous day. For those who are sticking around, just a friendly reminder you are a sovereign being over your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. So, my suggestion to you is to not Cinderella shit to make it fit. Okay? Okay. I got hair stuck to my face. I do have the window open and it does create a shine on my face, but it's raining outside and I can't stand the doldrums. Like it's too, so I have to have it open some. I gotta have light. If you know me, I have to have light. So, um, yeah. All right. I don't know. I didn't really. I'm getting like a. Okay, so my chair is gonna be chiming in. It does that from time to time. Is what it is. So just we're gonna get over it, okay? I'm getting like a jelly like feeling. I know that sounds really weird, but and this could be just somebody that's been experiencing this here recently, like a jelly sensation. That's the only way I know how to like when you're like your arms are goo, you're like ugh. Like it's just like there's jelly. Maybe like I worked out yesterday, not necessarily like I just got done working out. Why did they show me that? They're like they showed me somebody leaving a jet like leg day at the gym and they're like their legs are like this trying to walk. And okay, this might just be like confirmation for people. Um but like my arms feel like jelly. Like I just worked the shit out of them. That's what it feels like. But it's like a good kind of like after when you've gone hiking. This is the way I would. When you've gone hiking and you get back and you take that fresh shower and you just flop down on the couch. There's also that feeling. So it's like a jello-y kind of feeling, but like when you feel really good after you've kind of like expended energy and you've pushed it all out. So you may have gone through a purge here recently where like you finally got rid of something like either I heard an obsession, like an obsessive thought, or like something that you're obsessing about. It's kind of like out of your system. Um, or an emotion, something that came up and you've gotten it out and now you can just relax. Mhm. Okay. All right, we're gonna start with Hermetic Tarot. Pardon. This is my drink. It looks like I was like, it looks like the red button of doom. Like when they're like, push the button. Like I just 6 of Wands. I can't not see that thing now. I keep. It's like, oh, that's the word I was gonna say. So like when I was like, you might have been obsessing about something. There was a hyperfixation on something. Hyperfixation. Okay, well these are really good fucking cards. We have the Magician out, and it feels really good. Like I want to be like, oh, that feels yummy. That feels yummy. 6 of Pentacles. Funny thing is, it spun, and it landed in the reverse. And I heard, I don't need no help. I feel like somebody's gonna be successful at making something happen. And it gives this feeling of like, I don't need no help, but they want this upright. I don't need no help. My hair is sticking to my face because I put oil on after my shower today. And since then, everything's been like to it. And I'm like, look, and it feels soaked in. So why it's still, sorry guys. I don't need no help. Jeez. I like High Priestess. Yes, you do. I feel like this is something pretty big. Like a big idea, big dream, big, like this isn't some little something something, right? That you bring in. This is a pretty big manifestation. You need some help. I don't need no help. Funny thing is, I've got the Five of Swords and the Knight of Wands, and they want the Five of Swords kind of like grouped with it, like it's one card, like it's one energy. Five of Swords would be I feel like I get that goes with the I don't need no help. But the Knight of Wands is this might be how you be perceiving something, like somebody's coming in to rescue you. And it's like, because the Knight is pretty like, and the Knight of Wands, they're very, I'm hearing something. Hold on, guys. What am I hearing, guys? I'm sorry, I'm hearing something. Like a tick, 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 tick. I don't know. It that was weird. I was like, it felt somewhere in the distance, and so I grabbed that, thinking, and I looked at my phone to see if it was playing something. I'm like, I have my phone down here, and it's not. And then so my earbuds were over there, and I'm like, uh, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know if y'all hear it or not. Swords with the Knight of Wands. Like you're gonna fight this. Like you're gonna be like, no, 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 no. I just feel like mentally to contest this. Thank you. Mentally, I'm going to contest this because it's like whatever whoever the Knight Wands is, it's not you. Comes in so fast that it's like, ugh. You. I mean, okay. So it feels like something happens pretty quickly. I do feel a separate energy from you. It comes in pretty fast. Um, like the rate at which you manifest something because we got Six of Wands and the Magician over here. It's like you're gonna get this, and I think you were in the energy of I don't need no help. Funny thing is, something about this situation doesn't feel like help. Like help. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it other than that. And the Knight of Wands just feels like waiting on the edge of their seat to be able to do something. Like without hesitation. Um you could question its legitimacy at quick how quickly this thing person comes in, it's like you were in an energy previously of, I'm gonna do this on my own. I don't need no help. And there might have been some, like the Knight Five of Swords, some kind of conflict around what constituted help and what didn't. Like maybe it was from certain sources. Like maybe I would take like okay, you hear people all. We're talking about manifestation. You hear people all the time like I want this, and then they see where like the source that it comes from. Like oh no, I don't want this. That's not what I said. I want like just free money. Like I just want this, or it's some stupid shit, right? And then but then if you really think about it, it is free money. But yeah, but it's coming from that, and I don't want to. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like uh, or you. They're showing me like somebody who wants something, but then there's like a million parameters around it. But all of these, and it's kind of like you sound like you really don't want something. Like every day there was a new kind of like, yeah, but not this though. Yeah, but not like that though. Yeah, but it is. And this is a little bit like, so I think that's the reason why it was kind of like you gave the energy of, I don't really want no help. You know what it reminds me of? Okay, so I just use real world shit, okay? And you know how people go, I want a sugar daddy, but without the sugar. I mean, I get it. I get it, okay? But it's kind of like, I want this, but like, and so then spirit's like, so you really want this then? And no, I want this. It's like, no, what you're asking for with all this is what you're, and they're like, I don't know, there was a lot of like conflict in your mind about receiving, because the Six of Pentacles is also about receiving something. Um, and it just muddled up your energy. It muddled up your desire, is what I want to say. And so it made it a little bit difficult. So you may have to. I'm not one of those people who is like, hey, words are magic. Be careful what you say. I say crazy shit. Spirit never, it doesn't manifest. I say crazy shit all the time, and I mean it, and it doesn't manifest. So that's not quite exactly it. It is the energy at which you assign to the words that you're saying. And so if certain words have a certain story to them and it doesn't align with what you're asking, because we all have stories, right? And I've always said this, like my first one where I realized I really had a lot of stories behind the words that I say that then gave it meaning. Like surrender being handing over control when there's total utter control and surrender, because surrender is something that only you and you yourself can do. Otherwise, it's conquering, right? Like surrender in and of itself is a choice to something, and then the whole idea of changing the narrative that it doesn't mean like handing over any type of control or anything else like that, or waving your or giving up. Like it doesn't mean giving up; it means opening up. Surrender is being in the state of allowance, allowing to receive. So like, there's all kinds of stories that kept me. I would say the term, but it kept me in a position of what I said and how I felt about what I was saying were two different things. But I would try to tell myself, oh, this is what you know what I mean? And so my energy was not open, was not receptive. I would be saying the words, but I was none of those things because the definition that I gave to it, which came from my experiences, came from my programming, despite whatever Webster dictionary says, I could find a way where you and I could have the exact same definition from the dictionary. We each have a different story about what that word means, and so we assign a different feeling, a different energy to that. And so when we say the word, we experience a different energy. So it's not so much like are words powerful only because you sign a certain frequency, energy, vibration, meaning, experience, and feeling to it. So it's really you that's powerful, right? And they're always like, think good thoughts, and I'm not that person. I'm not gonna tell you that because I can be thinking some like and it doesn't. If it is it authentic to me, that's what fucking matters, right? Then it's not in a negative. It's not a bad energy for me to exist in. Really, the only time that I'm out of harmony with something or myself is when I'm not in alignment with something that's truly me. When I'm not being me. So this is kind of like you were in a particular energy or a particular uh space or state of being where it was like, I don't really like you could have said, "Where's my help, spirit?" But you were not in a receiving mode. You were not open and receptive. And you may have took that to mean that you then had to open yourself up to sources and places like, oh, you want me to receive some from something that I don't want, and they're like, no, you're just really shut off. You just. And so you probably weren't in a place. You just weren't in a place. Here's another example. Somebody who really is like, I'm ready to get out there. I want a date. I want love. Blah blah blah. Like I'm open to it finally. Woohoo! But yet but we're gonna wait because I'm gonna lose this weight, and then I'm gonna do this because I want to feel confident, which is fine. I want to feel good in my own skin. I want to, it impacts how I come across, how I interact. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Until it's like, and then there's like anger around the speed at which this is happening, and it's like, then this conflict between, but I really want this, and I want to get out and have fun, but then I won't let myself get out and have fun because I gotta take care of these certain things, and then it's like there's just this like, okay, are we on the track for getting out having fun this summer, or are we not? Like, I don't get it. Um, and it stopped you from being willing because again, Knight of Wands is this energy. I'm willing to take this. I'm willing to engage with it. Like, not a second thought. Absolutely yes. Let's do this. Um, so it impacted that. Okay. It feels as though like you just weren't receptive. You weren't open. You must be now because they wanted me to bring this up. What is it? Upright. Jesus God. And so you're about to receive something, and it's like help, but it's not help. It's not. See, this is the thing. I think Spirit was like, why aren't you open? Let me help you. And the term help may have been triggering for you. Help may have always had contingencies, and so you projected that onto Spirit or to whoever, whatever source it came from. And so then you began to associate a very uh, unharmonious discontent and just like a nasty energy with help, receiving, all of those things, right? And it's like, no, conceptually, you really wanted help and assistance from very vibrant sources that would feed you, and like energetically align with you. Like, absolutely. But like, there was something in you that was like, ooh, with you know what I'm saying? Something that made you, I just feel like I'm like it rubbed you the wrong way. So help might have been the thing. I don't need no help. But a lot of the things the way you would envision something, we got the high priestess, the way that you would envision something, like all the potentialities and things like that, like it all really required some form of intervention, help, assistance, another energy. It required you to receive something. So you're imagining it one way and saying, and then your energy, and basically what it boils down to is you were not in integrity. Integrity is when your words, action, and energy all match. We've all said something, and and taken action on something and really meant both of those things, but then our energy was off, right? And the energy that you do something with matters. It is the momentum, the fuel, right? You could really like your energy could be like absolutely in alignment, and you could be saying it, but you're not taking the right. You're not even taking any steps, right? Like all three of those things, your words, actions, and energy all need to fucking match, and then you are in integrity with not only yourself, but whatever it is that you're wanting, desiring, aligning with, right? And so those things can stop you from having exactly what it is that you're trying to manifest. Something you are in a space to receive. You are definitely open, and there is going to be success at bringing something about into your reality. Something that you have imagined, have thought about, have toyed and played around with, and it really is something that's been an idea, a notion, a desire, but isn't necessarily. And they're giving me there was something about the Five of Swords really feels again you were conflicted, and maybe you're I feel like speed again or source. But yeah, that's the only thing that blocked this. It was either the speed at which something was happening or the source from which it was happening, and that's where the conflict lied. Um, and there couldn't be really any type of resistance with this. And the Knight of Wands, sometimes that's his trouble. He has zero resistance or inhibition about something. And so it's kind of like, eh. So, okay, let's keep going. So we are talking, this is the card of material success with the Hermetic Tarot. It says so at the bottom. So you are receiving something. And again, timing or from the source. Let's say source because could be a person, could be a whatever. Uh, yeah. Which one? Where? Mm-hmm. Still? All right. I know you can't see it. I really do need to play with the camera a bit more, but sometimes like when it's really high and then looking down, I'm like it's really weird. And it can't zoom out anymore. That's why I see like this looks very see it? It like Ace of Swords. They're bringing me to a challenging beginning. It says a challenging beginning. This may have been the challenge. The speed, the source, the conflict surrounding how to receive. Um, but there's clarity now for that. You're seeing the situation clearly now. The world. Hold on, guys. Things are opening up now. It was a little rough at first. Maybe you had to get used to the idea of. Okay, so when they're giving me the source, it's almost like you had to again, but not from here, not from here, not from here, and you're just like, why the fuck not? Why not? Why was I so resistant to that? I just heard are they paying my bills? Like it's almost like the idea or notion of other people, again, other people's programming, things that you were this really does feel you may be open where before you like I want to say they're showing me the 9 of wands, so it's like your walls are down about receiving from certain sources. We have the 10 of pentacles and the 3 of wands. The money can come in now. This is absolutely about finances. Like I feel like they're showing me somebody who there are like I'm on a path with a million other little paths kind of like coming to me, right? Like maybe I'm in a stream and there's all kinds of little areas of, you know what I'm saying, spots where the water comes down the mountainside into this main stream, creek, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And it's as if like you know how people stack rocks and shit like that, you know, or like the little beavers come and they put shit up. Like it got blocked. So it was like not there, but I'll take it from there. Well, the waters are it's minimal then. It reminds me guys of the dam, the one that the reading I did about a month ago about the dam. Just and it's like the waters rush in and once they do, it's consistent. So if you I get it. Ace of Swords, a brilliant idea. You were closed off to avenues of that money could come in and you're no longer in that energy. You might have a little bit of like mentally, but you're like fuck that shit. You are open to receiving money. And it's we're not talking like unhealthy. Maybe somebody tried to convince you that those were not positive sources of abundance, that they were not that it meant something negative, that if you receive from certain avenues that it somehow tainted the energy of abundance. I don't quite understand, but I know I am seeing those paths, those multiple paths that something can get to you. And there's an idea. There's an idea behind something. And if you've recently thought, if you've recently had an idea of like doing something to get money or abundance and it you thought, should I? Like I really just want to act on it because this is the 5 of Swords with the Knight of Wands. You may have been up here, but you have no clue how quickly. Spirit is saying yes. You had an idea. You've got an inkling. And doing this, we are in the age of nothing is secure. Okay, across the globe. It used to be if you went to college and did this and worked a 9 to 5 and this and da 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 da, right? Then you were doing it the right way. That has been proven to be bullshit. Like not even funny bullshit. And the only person that fucking suffers is you. You. That's where they want you to be. They want you in a broken down, closed off, shut off, easy to manipulate energy. Those places they tell you and the things that you can do to get money that they say is unreliable. It speaks lowly of you. Look, there are influencers, and there's still motherfuckers that be trying to be like, you're a disgusting person if that's how you choose to, I can't stand blah, 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 blah. Of the opinion and of fuckers that don't pay your bills shouldn't matter, right? They're not the ones having to live your life. And as long as you're in alignment with you and who you truly are and what is true for you and feels good to you, then it's good. It's not a bad source of money. It's not a bad source of abundance. So quit limiting yourself. And you've recently had a fucking idea. And that is going to open shit up. Because it's almost like, let's say you're you're walking down your path and there's all these other little paths that join yours. And you're like, try that one. I kind of wanted to. And you do, and it works out. I want to try another one. Like, it's like the confidence. Things open up. So do it. Fucking do it. Quit giving a shit what other people fucking think. Do you feel good about you? And if you don't, is it because somebody's taught you not to feel good about you? Or is it really because you're compromising something that you really, again, no, Spirit's not asking you to, okay? No one else is asking you to do something that compromises something that you feel is integral to who you really fucking are. But quit pretending like some of these other things go against who you really are. Because when you hold back, when you're not open to receiving, I'm just going to say, high probability that some of the reasons that you don't aren't even your fucking own. As long as whatever you do and wherever you receive from feels in integrity with you, okay? That's all that fucking matters. And when I tell you you'll be receiving, you'll get that money. And it's like it breaks that down. Something has to give, is what they're saying. Something has to give. Just break that dam, start receiving, and again, we've talked about recoding. So like when we deprogram, we can understand something intellectually. We deprogram something. We've got to rewrite that code, okay? We got to overwrite whatever at a deep level within us that assigns certain meanings to certain things. We got to overwrite that. So that's the embodiment process. And when you start taking action and you experience it in a different way, opposite to how you thought or saw or perceived something before, and your own truth comes out about it, and you're like, that discomfort, those thoughts, gone. Those thoughts that would give you conflict, gone. And it's like, Spirit's like, just pick one. Let's see what happens. Look at all these paths right here. Right? Let's see what happens. Just remove the blockage for that one. Let's see. Take action. Walk down it a little bit. Just go in there and take a peek. If it feels good, and it doesn't require you to forsake any aspect of yourself that you don't, then it's good. It's in alignment with you. It's not bad. Let's talk about the Knight of Wands. And it's because I feel like they're like, this is a good idea. It'll be, you'll manifest this successfully. It'll open up the doors of abundance and other avenues. And it'll be like a floodgate. And that's really what you need to rewrite. I feel like somebody's rewriting some of their old programming around money. And the programming that fucked you up was where it's coming from or the speed at which it comes. Doesn't it sound like all of us? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, so it's an idea right now. You're a little bit conflicted. But you need to take a leap at this. You need to jump at it. Knight of Wands. The other thing with this is if you go down there, you're going to run into something or someone, a source that you were not expecting. When you encounter that source, this energy that seemingly has zero hesitation towards you, I just feel like this is attracting something. And it's kind of like, again, you may experience a little bit of the Five of Swords, a bit of like mental conflict about it. That's just the old programming. You were taught to be afraid. You were taught to be afraid. And people don't understand, what does it really mean to be afraid of abundance, to be afraid of, you weren't taught to be afraid necessarily of the actual experience of abundance or wealth, money, wealth, financial success. You were taught to be afraid of how it comes, the way in which it comes, what's attached to it, those kinds of things, not the experience in and of itself. And that was by design. By design. To keep you small. To keep you in lack. And I just feel like saying that is somebody else's moral compass. Same as like people who are like, if you're in spirituality, you shouldn't get paid. Fuck off. Suck a bag and choke. Okay? Thank you. All right, I want to know. Just let yourself receive. There's an element of I don't want to look stupid. And that may only be because you feel it's not familiar. And that's where walking the talk comes into play, right? Where the embodiment process happens, where you are recoding yourself. It's in the doing. And so you have to allow yourself. Yeah. Okay. We're stopping there. That's really what they wanted to say. That is the message for the week. And I sure as hell hope that fucking finds who it's meant for. I really, really do. If this resonates whatsoever, let's have conversations in the comments about this, because if you need a little help unpacking this, because things can sound great up here, and it's like, no, I really do believe that. I do believe you should be open to it. Oh, no, I know there's nothing wrong with getting from here doing this. And then it's like, really? Because you say that. But you're not following through with it. So your energy says otherwise. Maybe you are following through with it, but it's like your hesitation, it shows. Your uncertainty, it shows. So, all right, leaving it there. I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. Hope this message finds who it's meant for. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next